Hey guys, my name is Rosa Fragello. I am 20 years old and I am a pre-med at the University of South Florida, and I am an Alpha Delta Pi. Before I kind of get started, I wanted to say a few things. First of all, it is very weird talking to a camera, but not only just talking to a camera and knowing that all of you guys are watching me and my voice is probably really loud right now in some room, so maybe it's a good thing I'm not there. I would probably be cringing. But also, I kind of wanted to also share this with you guys. I was thinking about like putting on makeup or something so I look decent-ish, but I just wanted to make this video really real and kind of, you know, show like real life of someone with cancer and just kind of like not hide anything from you guys, because this is me and this is what I'm going through. You can kind of see my eyebrows just started falling out. I learned to fill them in though, so that was kind of cool. I also had this notebook because I needed to write down what I was gonna say, so I'm sorry if I keep looking down, but I have to, because if not, I would blank many times. There's actually this thing called Chemo Brain. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it just like literally makes your brain so foggy, and I can't explain it besides just the word foggy. I don't know, sometimes it's just like really hard to get words out. Like kind of right there, I wanted to say a word besides foggy, but I couldn't think of one, so I feel like I probably played that off really good. Maybe not. Okay. So on December 2nd, 2019, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma. Lymphoma is a type of blood cancer, and for me, it not only affected my blood, but it affected some of my organs, it affected my bones, and it affected my lymph nodes. I know this sounds awful, but thanks to the great work done in cancer research, lymphoma is now treatable and curable. So Sigma Chi invited me here today to share a little bit about my journey so far as a real life example of someone going through cancer. And I guess I shouldn't use the words here today because I actually couldn't be there today because I am in South Carolina right now with my family. They took me on a little trip to celebrate me being halfway done with chemo. 6 more to go, but at least I'm halfway, so okay. So I'm gonna get right into it, and sometimes it's a little emotional for me to talk about, just like saying it out loud and hearing it, because you're just like, wait, this is actually me. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm watching somebody else's life and then like randomly I'll just like snap into it and it's like, wait, this is me. Like, I'm going through this happened to me. But I was having the best semester that I've ever had in fall of 2019. I was making the best grades that I have ever made, and I was living with my best friends. I started getting extremely sick. I knew it. I was in the emergency room getting a blood transfusion at like midnight for like 8 hours. And then the doctor sent me home not knowing what was wrong. And a few days later, my symptoms were getting a lot worse. It was just kind of like, all of a sudden, my symptoms were just, phew, everything just went downhill. And I could no longer walk anymore because of my bone pain. It was horrible, and I couldn't even keep my eyes open. I was just so tired. My mom says I slept about 20 hours a day. And I didn't know that it was possible to feel that weak. And I was honestly scared to be alone in my room. I remember I just slept with my mom every single night because I was literally scared to die. Like, that sounds weird saying out loud, but I was. So immediately my doctor ordered a PET scan and a biopsy of a lymph node in my neck right here. And the next thing I know, I was sitting in the doctor's office. My parents were by my side, and I had no idea what to expect. And then my life changed instantly. Stage 4 Hodgkin lymphoma. the only words that my brain could pick up on. I felt like I blacked out. I don't even remember what happened. I just remember feeling no emotion whatsoever. I wasn't scared. I wasn't sad. I like literally just felt empty. Like I can't even describe it. I didn't say anything to my doctor or my parents. My dad told me that whenever the doctor told me, I was just sitting there and he said I just went like this. I like literally don't even remember that. And the whole car ride home, I was silent. Whenever you're told that you have cancer, there's no right reaction. There's no right way to feel or act. Everyone just kind of deals and copes with it in their own way. And you can't help to think the obvious question, am I going to live? I was so confused. Why was this happening to me? I'm only 20 years old and I was so healthy. I ate so healthy and I've just been so active my whole life. And you kind of just think, this isn't fair. I wasn't ready for this, you know? It was just like a slap in the face. Like I was in school. I still had all my finals to take. I was studying so hard for all of my classes. Everything was going so good. And it's like, what? I don't have time for you, cancer, you know? And then I realized, you know, we're all given our own battles, but never battles that we aren't strong enough to conquer. And that's when I knew that it was time to fight. I realized I can't change what's happening, but I can change my mindset. And a curse turned into a blessing. I learned how strong I am and that I'm meant to be here and to inspire people. But of course, I was going to encounter many challenges. So I had to start chemotherapy as soon as possible. My medical oncologist gave me a 6-month treatment plan of chemotherapy, and I receive chemo every other Friday. Chemo is no joke. First off, you know how ridiculously expensive chemo is. Why? I don't know. I mean, without chemo, you wouldn't be living. Why does it have to be so expensive? And then to top it off, how hard it is on your body. For 6 hours straight, I just have drugs flowing into my body, 6 to 7 hours. And then there's good and bad days. Thank goodness there are some good days, but there are also many bad days. I mean, you just feel extremely sick and there's so many side effects. But every day is just kind of like a mystery. You don't know how you're going to wake up feeling, but you make the best of it. And if you're in bed all day watching movies and you just have to get food brought up to your room, hey, whatever, you know. My mom is a great cook. But honestly, I think one of the really hard things to go through is not being at school with you guys. Like, it's so hard to just, I have nothing else to do besides go on social media. So I'm just like scrolling through social media or going on Snapchat, and I just see all of my friends having so much fun. And then I'm just like sitting here, you know, not doing anything normally. And I think that that is definitely something that's just really hard to deal with, because I went from my life going 100 miles per hour to my life just completely at a standstill. You know, everything in my life now revolves around cancer, where before it did not at all. You know, there wasn't even like in my vocabulary. Oh, and to my friends watching this, I love you guys and I miss you. Mwah. But no one's really ever gonna know how you feel, and that's something that you also have to struggle with, because you're struggling mentally and physically in a lot of ways, but just no one will ever really understand your pain besides, you know, other people going through chemotherapy and cancer. But I cannot stress this enough. The human spirit is absolutely crazy. The amount of love and support that I'm getting, it's honestly just overwhelming. You guys don't even realize how loved and important that I feel from you. I'm getting messages from people that I don't even know, or messages where I've only talked to someone once. People will be like, I only ever met you once, but I'm praying for you, and that stuff just means so much. And I'm telling you that without my family, and without all of my friends, and without all of my sisters, 80 Pie, I love you, I would not be where I am. I can promise you that. You guys lift me up so much, and you just make me feel so special. And like I said earlier, lymphoma is treatable and curable thanks to foundations like the Huntsman Cancer Foundation. They have a mission to better understand cancer, making advancements in treatments and research, most importantly, because without these organizations, I would literally not be here right now to tell my story to you guys. And I'm going to keep fighting, and this cancer will not take over my body. Now it is time to raise this money because it is going towards something absolutely amazing.